Wow, this gotta be the biggest choke job in college football this year. What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. Dugai, coming at y'all with another episode of Drop It Downs with Mr. Dugai. And today I'm going to talk about today's SEC matchup as you have the Florida Gators upsetting the ninth-ranked Ole Miss Rebels 24-17 and essentially knocks Ole Miss out of the playoff talk. Before I get into this video, man, for anyone, if you want to drop $1 on the Cash App, also, if you want to follow me on social media, I co-host a sports talk radio show every Sunday. All that information gonna be down in the description box. If you're a subscriber to the channel, greatly appreciate the love and support. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Make sure you hit the bell, the subscribe button, bell notification button, like the video, and share it with your folks. First off, man, let me tip my hat to Florida. Hey, like y'all had me really pissed off last week when y'all beat us, man. But you know one thing, man, you got to give credit where credit is due. Shout out to Billy Napier, man. Shout out to Billy Napier and the job he's done. The young quarterback DJ Lagway, who you could clearly see is playing on one leg, man, but he's out there gutting it out, playing hard. That defense has just been flying around all over the place, coming up with turnovers, sacking the quarterback, playing physical. Um, I mean, you name it, man. The rushing attack been outstanding. Billy Napier has done an amazing job from the beginning of the year. And like I said last week, really good coach teams get better as the year go on. And this Florida team is really good now compared to where they were early in the year. And I said it early in the year, DJ Lagway was going to have to save Billy Napier's job. And he did. And also, you got to give Billy credit as well because Billy is a calm presence of a coach, man. And I'm going to get to Lane Kiffin in a little while. But Billy ain't got all crazy and felt pressure to do all this and all this nonsense. Billy coached the game to win the game. Billy coached the long game. Look, man, I ain't got to go for all these crazy fourth downs. I ain't got to do all this crazy nonsense. I don't feel no pressure. I'm going to play field position football and we're going to execute. We're going to play a 60-minute football game, and that's what a really good coach does, and that's what Billy Napier did today. He coached for 60 minutes. He didn't coach for the moment, he didn't get emotional. You know what I'm saying? And you got to give him credit, man. He's done a really good job with this team. And they're bowl eligible, and the future is bright for them, man. Going and giving them that vote of confidence, spoke well, man. Who knows? Lagway don't get hurt. They had a shot to knock off Georgia as well, man. But shout out to Billy Napier and shout out to the Florida Gators, man, for really playing better football, man, as the season went along. And that team fighting hard for Billy, man. Good for him, yo. And now for Ole Miss. And for Lane Kiffin. This was a poor Lane Kiffin failed Ole Miss this year as a head coach. I'm sorry. Look, this Ole Miss team is, I think, besides Georgia, is the second most talented team in the SEC. I think this Ole Miss team is extremely talented. I mean, you have Jackson Dart, who's like top 3 or top 4, whatever, in the nation in passing. I get it, Trey Harris, and I feel bad for the young man. Right here from Lafayette, Louisiana, man. I feel bad for him because this was his money year and he just couldn't stay healthy this year. So I feel bad for him. But they had enough weapons, to get things done. And Lane tries running Pagee. First he had, and shout out to Greg McElroy. I think he does a really good job as an analyst. I know he's an Alabama guy, but I think he does a really good job. I like listening to Greg McElroy call games because he points out things. He ain't afraid to point out bad stuff like a lot of these other analysts do. And you got one play where you got Jackson Dart as a lead blocker for Pagee, and Darts don't even do anything. You keep it's late in the game. You down 3, you in field goal range, and you trying to run Pagee, man. Take the points, Lane. Lane coached this game very emotionally, And Lane is an emotional guy. He's an emotional wreck. And he coached this game like he knew if he lost, the playoff hopes were gone. He showed no calmness. He showed no leadership, no maturity. And like I said, as we all know, Lane, he's known to be very immature, and he coached very immature today. And it rubbed off on his team as they did immature things. Jackson Dart, those last 2 minutes was the worst quarterback play I've ever seen. With throwing in the coverage, overthrowing people, throwing into triple coverage. I mean, how do you explain that from a veteran quarterback in a big spot like that? You know, um, look, man, when Ole Miss beat Georgia, that wasn't no fluke. When Ole Miss blew out South Carolina on the road, who's one of the hottest teams in the country, that wasn't no fluke. When Ole Miss dropped 60 on Arkansas, that wasn't no fluke. This is a really talented team, man, that got a lot of transfers that's going to be gone after this season. And yet, Lane, you know why Kentucky is 1-6? Their one win was at Ole Miss. LSU, you know how much shambles we in right now. LSU beat Ole Miss this year. And then today, though, credit to them, they've been playing well. You are a double digit favorite on the road in the swamp and you lost the game outright, yo. That is a poor coaching job by Lane Kiffin. I'm sorry. And Ole Miss boosters and fans, I'm not saying you're going to get fired or anything crazy like that. But all the fan base and boosters at Ole Miss should be extremely pissed off at the result of this season, yo. They lost 3 games they had absolutely no business losing. And now they're not going to the playoff now. And that's a crying shame because Ole Miss is definitely, from a talent wise, one of the top 12 teams in this country, and they can't even showcase that on the big stage. And that falls down at the feet of Lane Kiffin by his immaturity. Yo, you had a loaded team. And you couldn't get them to beat a horrible Kentucky team, a mediocre LSU team, and a Florida team. Those playing well is nowhere near talent-wise where you at. That is a horrible coaching job by Lane Kiffin. And he should be looked at as much as people getting on Brian Kelly this week, people need to start coming for Lane Kiffin because he cost his team a playoff spot. But with that being said, man, that's all I got for y'all today. Appreciate y'all checking out the video. Hit the like button for your boy. Give me a subscribe. I have LSU, NCAA, and content on my other teams throughout the year. Y'all have a blessed one. Go Tigers.